Hello, everyone, and welcome to KF Vietnamese. Today, I'm going to share the structure of the universe and the level of consciousness in more detail so people can have an idea of visualization of what it looks like. I will start off with giving people a theoretical perspective of what the universe, the structure of the universe might be, according to Iyasha Asayana. According to her, that is her truth. But for other people, you can look at it, you can look at the information as a theoretical perspective, as a theory, a theoretical perspective to compare with the current paradigm that you have, that you understand, that you know. For me, the information resonates with me on the instinctive level. For now, I accept that as the paradigm and to find some other information to prove it otherwise. According to Iyasha, the structure of our universe, what we call the universal time matrix, is composed of the 15 dimension. Even before that, we have a setup sound, then a down step down to light. Light within that structure where we become individualized, what you call dimensionalized. Above 15 dimension, where things are no longer dimensionalized, it's in sound frequency. Below that, you have light wave. Then you from below light wave, we have solid form, like what we have right here, a body. So when we go into dimension, we have the structure of a universal time matrix have 15 dimensions. And those dimensions are divided into three, what you call harmonic universes. We can look at it this way. We have, how am I going to do it? Universal uni time matrix. It's too long to write with this time matrix. Bear with me, as it's kind of difficult to write with this pointer and it's board. Okay, universal time matrix. We have on top sound field. Then we have the light field, which is dimension 15, 14, and 13. They all have a color representing the energy, the frequency, the consciousness. So color, dimension, chakra, they all, DNA, they all mean the same thing. They all have a color associated with them to represent the frequency that they hold, the consciousness that they have. We have sound, light, then we have the physical part, the physical body, physicality. So if we look at each of those, when they're divided into subsection, we call harmonic universe. At the top of this harmonic universe, where we're in physical form, we call harmonic universe, I'll write it HU, 4. And that has dimension 12, 11, and 10. In the light spectrum up here, we have what you call harmonic universe 5. That's with 15, 14, and 13. Here we call the Rishi consciousness, because that is collective consciousness that is very, very huge, big. At the fourth harmonic universe, we call avatar consciousness. That's where we have DNA 10, 11, 12, or dimension 10, 11, 12, or chakra 10, 11, and 12. This is where physicality right here, this is where we still have form. Beyond that, basically we have no form, which is in light wave. in HU3, harmonic universe 3, we have 9, 8, and 7. The higher up we go, the less dense we become. Here it's like hydroacoustic. It's very in liquid form. Here we come density number 4, we are more like silica. It's well, actually no, sorry. The 5 is in light form. 4 in hydro acoustic, or the hydro something. It's a liquid form, physical liquid form. So we are less dense. In 3, you have silica. It's a base form of the physicality. In harmonics universe 2, we have is a mix. It's silica and carbon, where it's more dense. And here we have 6, 5, 4. And where we are right now, a harmonic universe 1. We are carbon-based life form, very dense, much more dense than it usually is in other solar system or other universe or other places in the cosmoverse. So this is where we have dimension 3, 2, 1. And each of those harmonic universes, we have a barrier called the magnetic repulsion zone. It's basically a field that can push us back. We cannot go past those parts unless we have the required frequency. There are portals or gateways or stargate that can go through these things, go through those different barriers, but you must have the frequency. If not, it's called vaporization. You become dust form. It basically, when you step to a higher level frequency or universe, the energy there is really strong. So our molecular bond cannot hold, become vaporized instantly. So right now, I'll leave it at that as a basic structure of our universe and how it relates to the different terminology that we have been hearing in the New Age movement, in the spirituality community, where we heard about dimension, chakras, DNA activation, and all those things. They all mean the same thing. Each DNA corresponds to each dimension, and each the chakra, each axis-tonal line, they're all representing the same thing, and a color. They all have a color associated with that. So if we look at, for example, DNA 1, have a color red associated with that, which is a color of chakra 1, which is dimension 1. Now, when Mr. Keshe talked about the soul of man, so I assume, well, let's make an assumption. Soul of man, we can place it at this level, right here. And soul physicality is right here. Because at the soul level, in harmonics universe 2, each soul downstep itself to 12 fragments, what we call to experience physicality at a lower level in harmonic universe 1, what we call incarnate. When in harmonic universe 1, with that incarnate, we are just a fragment of the soul in harmonics universe 2. And we forget, we have no connection with source or understanding our relationship with source and where we come from or anything. We have a complete amnesia. So the only way that we can communicate, or the soul in harmonics universe 2 communicate with the incarnate self, is through our intuition, our senses. But the problem with that is we were not taught how to communicate with our soul, or what is a soul, or what is the structure of the universe, or what is the nature of our existence, and what are we here for? We has been blinded for thousands and thousands and thousands of years on our origin, on the nature of our existence and everything. Everything has been hidden from us until now. Now those information is beginning to come out for us to able to understand more about ourselves, our relationship to the universe and its structure. And when Mr. Keshe talked about the physicality, I guess we refer to as our physical body, where we have the amino acids and the Cohen and all that stuff right there. And the soul physicality, we can call it the incarnate self, which is right here. And the soul of man, we can put it up here at this level, because we are right now just one fragment of our soul, one of 12. And to take that to the next level, when Mr. Keshe talk about plasma, he always draw the plasma this way. This picture of the plasma represents many, many things, whether it is our soul, so the plant, solar system, galaxy, universes, unicorns, it has the same plasma structure. So if we look at this harmonic universe structure to the right here, we can look at it this way. Harmonic universe, because this is a full spectrum of energy. This is the core, the soul is right in here. This is where energy is highly concentrated and is strong. The further we go out, the weaker it gets, all the way out here. If we look this an example of a harmonic as a universal time matrix, we can call up to here. Before this, it can be HU, let's say 5. When we go up to here, we can call that 4. And we go out further here, we can call that 3. We can go out further here, we can call that 2. And all the way out here, and so on, is 1. Because there's a frequency band of energy. Each frequency band can be divided into sub-frequency. This whole plasma we call a frequency band that has been subdivided into 5 sections, which we call harmonic universes. Within those harmonic universes, we divide it into subsections called dimension, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. We can subdivide it even further down, but for simplicity's sake, we leave it at now. So the part of our evolution, going back to source, is from where we are right now at 1, we go closer back to 2, then go to 3, then to 4, then to 5, and back to center, back to source. This is looking at a bigger grand scale. If we look at a smaller scale of a plasma, let's say of our soul, the plasma of our soul look exactly the same thing. Excuse me, that poor drawing, but so where we are right now is incarnate, is right here. We are here, all the way outside. We are here. Our God self, our true self, our essence of source is all the way inside. And this guy, communicate this guy through our intuition, through our senses, what we call our psychic ability, but it's not really, everybody has psychic ability, whether they acknowledge it, understand it, or know it or not. The problem is people use too much mental understanding, the mind, to rationalize, to explain things without using the heart center, without using the intuition to sense, to feel things, without having the need for an explanation, a logical explanation of how things work or why it is what it is. We have, within that plasma, we have different part of ourselves because time is simultaneous. It's not linear, but from our 3D perspective, we view time as in a linear fashion. Things are simultaneous where it divided different chunks. Like over here, time, we can call this different time chunks where harmonic universe can be, we can call that a different time frame. Time frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Within each of those time frames, there are many incarnations of us in those time frames happening at the same time. What connect all that version of us is our DNA. Our DNA is the physical link that allows us to tap into all the other consciousness of ourselves at different spectrum of the frequency in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into different harmonic universes. So as we travel back to source, where we in what we call cultivation, we go back into the center of this plasma. Here we can call this, as earlier, harmonic universe 1. We go back to here, harmonic universe 2. Here we go 3, 4. Then we have 5 at the center. And we can give different names for different consciousness, soul consciousness level. We can call here our incarnate self as harmonic universe 1, where we are here. Our soul is right here. Number 2 is our soul level. We are communicated to by our soul, our oversoul, our avatar, all different versions of us is communicating to us constantly, to our senses, to our intuition, give us guidance of what we should choose, how we should do things. But the problem, we ignore them. And we have different names for different level of consciousness. Our consciousness level right here is called incarnate. When we step to the harmonic universe 2, our consciousness level, we give a name of called soul, soul essence. And when we step to harmonic universe 3, deeper inside our plasma, we call that oversoul. When we step into harmonic universe 4, our soul version there, we call that avatar consciousness. When we step into level 5 in harmonic universe 5, that is our rishi consciousness. That's all us spread out. We are downstepping. Just like when the plasma, when it radiates out, the further you go out, the weaker it is. And we can look at that example, just like our solar system right now. If we look at our solar system, where we have, let's draw our solar system like this plasma. Our solar system exact model, we have the sun. Our sun is at the center of our solar system, which is the central of the plasma. The different section out, we have, let me remember my planets. Let's see, what's the first planet? Mercury. Then we have, let's say Mercury here. We have Venus. Then we have Earth. Then we have Mars. Then we have, after Mars, we have another planet that blew up that became the asteroid. I forgot the exact name. Let's call it Maldek. I think it's Maldek. But it's not important what the exact name is. Then after Mars, we have Maldek, which is the asteroid belt. Then we have Jupiter. Then you have your Jupiter. Then we have Saturn, then we have Uranus, then we have, I think it's Uranus, I don't know, Chiron before Pluto or after Pluto. It does not matter the exact order, but at least you know the planets we have. We have 12 planets. We does not have 9 planets or 10 planets. We have 12 planets. Then the oh shoot, I did it in the wrong order. Let me step back. I wrote the plasma in the wrong order. In this plasma, sorry, well, that's actually correct. It's correct. Then we have, let's say, let's have Chiron. Then we have Pluto. Then we have the last planet, Nibiru. Nibiru is a planet that within our solar system that hop in and out from our universe to the other part of what the wormhole. But I'll talk about a different system. It's into a wormhole that flip between 2 places. And it has a cycle that switch back and forth. Chiron blew up a long time ago into 2 pieces. One piece is part of this, I think, to help to balance Nibiru to go around our solar system. The other part becomes, I've forgotten where it is. I forgot exactly what happened to the other part. Anyway, but at least you get the idea. We have 12 planets. That is a part of our history that was not been told to us. And what happened? Why do we have the asteroid belt? And what happened to all the other planets? That happened regarding to, I'm going off on a tangent right here. Happened to our galaxy. We have a war way long ago. That's why when you look at different planets, we have records of the intergalactic wars that took on way long ago. That's why we have so many craters on the moon, on Earth. We have some craters on Mars. Mars has been, used to be a living planet, but it has blew up. It got hit very hard and it's vaporized all the water on top of the surface. And that's what caused the Maldeck to blow up as well, because we have this big war that went on within our solar system. And all the things that have been wiped out from our history that we have no knowledge of. But anyway, my idea is to show you that the solar system that we have in follow the same structure of this plasma, where we have the weakest, the farthest planet outside and a stronger planet inside with the sun. And those planets, as we've been seen, been told, been shared by Mr. Keshe and other sources, these planets are rotating slowly to become inside into the central plasma where the sun, where it become one with the sun. It is pulling back in, and that journey takes a long time. Just like how our journey right here, where we are at the edge, we're trying to go back to source, to the same plasma, all the way back to the center. And basically, energy is consciousness. Consciousness is energy, and energy is frequency. It has a range. We can call that from our 3D harmonic universe one, we can call that infrared spectrum. It has a spectrum from here to the red, all the way dark red. Well, in infrared here, it's not red anymore down here, but we have like the blue up to here. And our eyes can only see a small part of that spectrum. And those spectrum have different colors, and those colors can, you can say, represent the plasma that we have here. I hope that give people an overall perspective on the different level of consciousness and how energy are subdivided, and how we can see that is in the plasma we have not realized, because the plasma at the strength outside, Mr. Keshe have mentioned many times, it's very weak out here. The closer we get in, the stronger it becomes. And that plasma is one. That's why when on the most recent workshop, he mentioned about when you put in spectroscopy, when you look at the GANs and you put it in, like, for example, CO2 GANs, you look in the microscope, when you analyze the material, it is a composite of many things, because it is a plasma that have many, as we call aspect, many parts of it at different strength level. So when we are, I'm going to touch this briefly, but let's assume we can transmutate and go to different places. We are at right here to go to harmonics universe 3. We just change our frequency at the frequency of 3, then we are right there, because everything, space is an illusion. Everything is just basically, it's like those neon lights. It just flash on and off. But I'll explain more later on about how frequency, dimensions, and consciousness work by just having scalar wave flashing on and off, like there's more key within our computer, or those signs where you see the words flashing by, but it's actually not flashing by. It's just different lights turning on and off at different rate, a different frequency. That's basically how frequencies work. And at the rate of those things turn on and off, but we can go and divide into further, we call what you call harmonic universes, or subfrequency. And subfrequency of subfrequency, we can divide it so far, just like how this structure of the universe works. If we look at this plasma, it's one whole big frequency band, and we subdivide it into a different section we call a different flash rate. And we divide it in smaller section, different sub-flash rate of dimension 1, 2, and 3, or 4, 5, and 6 within them. Then we have different level of frequency, different level of flash rate, and they all intermingle. I know that might be, first hearing it might sound a little complicated, but once you look into more detail and learn about particle of consciousness, then it becomes clear. But that is not the point of this video. I just want to give people an understanding of the overall structure of the universe, the structure of our consciousness, a different level of consciousness we can embody. Because through the process of us living daily life like we are right now, when we breathe, when we eat, we are accumulating energy. When we eat a banana, eat a chicken, a fish, it become a part of us. We take that energy, we combine it with what we have right now to create a bigger consciousness. So that's where we are here. We are accumulating energy. We are accreting energy into our template. The more we accrete, the closer we get to the center. Right now, we are right here at the edge of 1. We are about to step into harmonics universe 2. The problem is for hundreds of thousands of years, there's a group of people that do not want us to step into harmonic universe 2. They do not want us to embody our soul essence. They do not want us to remember, to realize who we are, our God self, our God consciousness, because they have been abusing us for so long, and they're afraid of retribution once we remember who we are and we attain our power as the creator that we are, and to become aware of that consciousness, aware of all that we are, our full capability. So for hundreds and millions of years that we're suppressing our consciousness and putting us down. But right now we're at a pivotal point where we're getting help from the universal community to fight back. But the work has been done through us. We have to step into our power and take back what is ours. And it's a free will choice whether we want to consciously take our power or continue to give it away. That's why we have more people become awakened, to remember, to know who they are, and to take the conscious choices to the next step. We are ready to move to the next step of our evolution, consciousness. And we are getting a lot of help from the universe community to expedite, to ensure that we made it this time. Because in the past, when we get to this edge, when we get to this final part, we got reset. We've been reset twice already. That's why when you hear into our history about the Atlantis and the Lemuria, that is when Atlantis, the Great Flood, we have been reset, reprogrammed with blank slates technology and all other things to wipe our mind, to wipe different clues of the planet so we do not know who we are. We forget our linguistic programming. We have basically been wiped out like a white piece of paper and forgot everything that made us who we are to that point. So right now we are beginning to recollect, remember who we are. That's why we need to learn how to tune in, tap in to the creator within ourselves and to take our power back. And that's where we have knowledge like Kes Plasma technology and science to help us remember, to know, to understand, and to move forward. Kes Plasma science is not the only thing. There are many, many groups, many things, many out there that is working coherently, concurrently with this system to help us establish the foundation for the new life we are to have in Harmonics Universe 2, help us to shift things. But this is just the beginning. And I hope this structure of consciousness help people understand about soul of man, soul of physicality, and soul in general. To understand those is not an intellectual thing. It's an experiential knowing. Looking for our soul is like chasing our shadow. It's like a dog chasing its tail. That's a bad analogy, but it's like chasing our shadow. We will never find it. We have to look within. Our soul essence is who we are. It's not this physicality. To tap into our soul is to tap into our conscience, our heart, our intuition, our essence. That's why Mr. Keshe has created the cup of man, cup of soul, the 5 cup, so we can feel, we can sense the energy so that we know ourselves. Because people are physical. They have that ability, we all have that ability throughout our life to sense other people, to recognize other people, to feel them. But we ignore all those things because it has been so common that nobody explained to us. When we feel all those, we sense all those things, what do they mean? So the cup of life, cup of man, the 5 cups, those are just tools to help us feel the energy, feel the things outside. So when you feel the things outside, when you know other people, it's to know yourself. Because in order to understand who you are, you have to have something to compare to. You have to have someone else, other people, to know what they are, what the whole society is like, what the average person is like, so that you can compare those with yourself of who you are, so you know what is the difference between me and them. When we have nothing to compare, how do we know who we are? To understand ourselves is to know everything around us. That's why God created an image of himself, to know himself, to explore, to find the answer to the nature of his existence, to explore all different possibilities. He cannot, or he or she, or it cannot know itself without having replication, an image, something to compare to. So I hope that help people understand what is God, what is the creator, what is source. And I will leave at that right here. This is just an introduction course to briefly explain about the plasma, the level of consciousness, the harmonic universe, or the universal time matrix, the structure that we're in. The structure of our universe, Unicos, Cosmoverse is very, very huge. What I'm giving you is just like the bottom of the pit. Once people understand more, the consciousness level expand and when we can become more awakened, then I'm able to give out more information. But right now, this is as generic, downstepping as I can give, to give a generic overview of the different consciousness level that we see. When we look into ourselves, we understand ourselves, our environment, our people, and we look at the energy, we have to look at energy a different way. It's called field plasma. Energy have different strength. When we think conventionally, okay, I'm getting into a spaceship, I'm going to fly out the solar system, I'm going to explore the universe, I'm going to join Starfleet Academy or the Jedi Council or whatever. You be the Jedi, or you want to be, what do you call those? The opposite of Jedis, Dark Lords and the Sith Lords. You can choose whatever side you want to be. You want to be Starfleet Academy, explore the universe, the galaxy. But what you don't understand is when we have a galaxy, I have a solar system I show you here, it has different strength. When we at the strength close to the sun, it's very strong compared to the gravity, the magnetic field all the way out here on Pluto or Nibiru. But when we look at the galactic plasma, let's look at the galactic plasma. We are like our galaxy or our solar system like out here, so weak. If we want to go all the way here, I'm sorry, but we can't. This is a process of evolution, of energy accretion that takes a very long time. To hop on Enterprise and go maximum warp all the way to here is an impossibility, because we're going to experience vaporization. The energy right here is so strong that our molecular bond cannot hold. We cannot hold our physicality right there. That's because of the energy. The closer we get to the plasma center, the stronger it is. And this is the plasma of the galaxy. Even the universe even is stronger. So the closer we get, it's impossible. We may have to get to here. We can call here part of the galaxy as Harmonics Universe 1, Harmonics Universe here. And people talk about Pleiadians. Pleiadians, solar system and stars and that. I'm sorry, but you can't get there. That is in Harmonics Universe 2. To get there, we have to evolve, raise our frequency up to the point where we can cross this magnetic repulsion zone, that border or else when we come to that there, we're going to get pushed back. If we force ourselves through to the other side, we become vaporized. That is a basic mechanic of energy, of frequencies, of a plasma that people have to put into the mind. In the past, I used to think it the same way. Hop on an Enterprise, go maximum warp, I can explore any part of the universe like we see in Star Trek. But that is an impossibility because the energy at the closer to the center is so strong that we cannot survive in that environment. It takes us 1,000 and 100,000 years to evolve to get to different part. Yes, if we become avatar consciousness, then we can go anywhere we want. We can downstep our energy and just adjust our McGrath field, and we can enter. When we in avatar consciousness, or at Rishi, all we do is downstep our energy, then we're in harmonics 3, we're in harmonics 2 or harmonic 1. We can downstep easily and to manifest anywhere we want according to the inertia, to the structure of that, just like Mr. Keshe explained. But if we are right here, right now, and we want to go to 2, 3, no, we do not have to require frequency, to require energy to hold our physical structural integrity at those time, space, location. But if we're able to restore our blueprint and obtain our avatar consciousness level as an angelic human with 12-strand DNA, then yes, it is a possibility. But that takes a lot of time to repair our template that has been distorted and messed up for hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions. So it takes a little process of what we call bioregenesis to repair our distorted template, to assimilate energy, to fix our DNA so that it no longer become junk DNA. Those junk DNAs or those DNA that we have that have been scrambled or we have not put them together yet or activated them yet. When we accrete enough energy, then we are rebuilding those DNA one at a time. Right now, people are building their 4th-strand DNA so that allow them to step into harmonics universe 2. Okay, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, but I hope that explained everything. And I wish everyone luck in exploring and understanding and finding out more about themselves and their relationship to the universe and everything as I have. Thank you.